Hello, students. Have you ever felt trapped, longing for freedom? Or perhaps you've witnessed a moment in nature that made you appreciate the beauty of life. Today we are diving into Adrienne Rich's poem, The Trees, a beautiful exploration of liberation, nature, and the struggle for growth. Let's start with the first stanza. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. The forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun buries its feet in the shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. This poem talks about how trees, which were once inside, are now moving out into the forest. The forest had been empty for a long time, with no life in it, no birds, no insects, and no sunlight creating shadows. But by the next morning, the forest will be full of trees again. The poet uses this as a way to show how nature is reclaiming its space. It could be seen as a metaphor where the trees represent freedom or growth, breaking free from restrictions and returning to where they truly belong. It's a reminder of how nature prospers when left undisturbed. Now, let's move on to the second stanza. All night, the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves strain toward the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof like newly discharged patients half dazed, moving to the clinic doors. Now, let's take a look at some difficult words in this stanza. To disengage themselves means to separate themselves. Veranda means the space attached to the house right outside it. Train means make efforts to move. Twigs means topmost parts of the branches. Stiff means hard. Exertion means pressure. Cramped means shrunk. Bounce means larger branches of trees. Shuffling means moving repeatedly from one position to another. Half dazed means half asleep or shocked. The roots of the trees are working all night to free themselves from the cracks in the floor where they are trapped. The leaves are stretching toward the glass as if they want to break free and reach the outside world. The small branches are stiff from being confined for so long and are struggling to move. The larger branches, like patients just released from a hospital, are slowly and awkwardly making their way out, eager to escape captivity. Next, we transition into the third stanza. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. The night is fresh, and the whole moon shines in a sky still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. The speaker sits indoors, writing long letters, but barely mentions the trees leaving the house to return to the forest. The night feels refreshing, with the full moon shining brightly in the open sky. Even though the trees have left, their smell, mixed with lichen, still stays in the air. This smell feels like a voice from nature, reaching into the rooms, reminding the speaker of the forest's presence. Now, let's look at the final stanza. My head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. Winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. The speaker's mind is filled with quiet whispers, which will disappear by tomorrow, symbolizing a sense of change. The sound of breaking glass indicates that the trees are breaking free and moving into the open night. The wind greets the trees as they step out into freedom, symbolizing nature's welcome. The moon, shattered like a mirror, reflects its light in the branches of the tallest oak, creating a magical and powerful image of the forest regaining its glory. Conclusion. The poem Trees is a powerful and moving work that explores themes of freedom, liberation, and the struggle for equality. The poet uses beautiful imagination and symbolism to create a strong sense of place and atmosphere, which helps in conveying her message in a thought provoking and inspiring way. Ultimately, the poem reminds us that all beings deserve freedom and equality, and that we must protect the environment to ensure that all creatures have a place to thrive. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 10. Thank you